I never thought betrayal would look so elegant under warm chandelier lights. The first time I noticed it, I was standing by the balcony, nursing a glass of whiskey, the chatter of colleagues and old friends swirling behind me. Emily, my wife of 6 years, was across the room laughing a little too loudly at something one of my coworkers said. His hand lingered on her arm. Her eyes sparkled in a way they used to when she looked at me. First, I brushed it off. We were at my boss's anniversary party. Half of the city's corporate world was here. Emily always had a way of making people feel special, of drawing attention. I used to love that about her. But as the night went on, the pattern repeated. One drink with a stranger, a playful nudge with another. Leaning in just a bit too close to a man she had met 5 minutes earlier, I stood there, glass in hand, watching her turn what should have been a celebration of partnership into some twisted game. By the time dessert was served, the whispers had already started. Isn't that your wife? She's friendly, isn't she? You're a lucky man. She's got everyone wrapped around her finger. Lucky. That word cut deeper than any insult. I forced a smile, nodded, and excused myself to the terrace. The cold night air felt like a reprieve, a moment away from the simmering humiliation crawling up my neck. And then I felt her presence behind me. Hey, she said, her voice light, almost teasing. Why are you out here? You're missing all the fun. I turned to face her. Fun, my voice came out steadier than I expected. Is that what you call it? Her eyebrows arched. What's that supposed to mean, Emily? You've been all over every guy in there. Do you even realize how it looks, how it makes me look? She laughed, a cold, dismissive laugh. Oh, come on, Daniel. It's just harmless flirting. I was testing you. Testing me? I repeated the word foreign in my mouth. Yeah. To see if you'd get jealous if you still cared. Relationships need a little shake-up sometimes. I stared at her, my mind a carousel of disbelief, anger, and something heavier, something like grief. You humiliate me in front of everyone we know. To test me, she rolled her eyes. Don't be dramatic. It's not like I kissed anyone. That night I couldn't sleep. Her words kept replaying in my head, testing you as if my love was an experiment she could poke and prod at until it broke. But what haunted me wasn't just her behavior. It was the way she didn't care, the way she acted as if my dignity, my trust, were expendable. Over the next few days, things grew colder between us. She acted like nothing had happened, sending me playful texts asking about dinner plans, scrolling through her phone with a smile I no longer trusted. And then the message came. A sorker, one of the men she had been especially friendly with that night, sent me a screenshot. It was Emily in our kitchen, smiling at the camera as she texted him. He's so clueless. I could get away with murder, and he'd still come home to me. The floor dropped out from under me. It wasn't a test. It was a performance, a game she played for her own amusement with my reputation as the punchline. That evening, I sat across from her at the dinner table. The roast chicken on her plate went cold as I placed the phone between us. Her eyes flicked down, then back up to me. No panic, no shame, just that same careless composure. Where'd you get that? She asked. Does it matter? I said quietly. You think this is funny to turn me into a joke? She leaned back in her chair. You're overreacting again. It was a stupid text. I didn't mean anything by it. You meant enough to write it? I forced a bitter laugh. You meant enough to flirt with every man in that room just to see if I'd snap. And you know what? I didn't. Not because I'm weak, but because I thought we were a team. Her face hardened. So what now? You want a divorce over a couple of jokes I didn't answer? Not yet. Because in that moment, something shifted in me. I realized I'd been so loyal to her that I'd forgotten to be loyal to myself. The following weeks were a quiet storm. I didn't yell. I didn't beg. I didn't accuse. I simply started withdrawing the pieces of myself I had given her so freely. I stopped rearranging my schedule to accommodate her last-minute whims. I stopped apologizing for being hurt. I stopped pretending the woman sitting across from me was the same one I had married. And in that silence, she started to notice. One night, as I packed a bag for a business trip that didn't exist, she asked, "Where are you going out?" I said, "I need space." "Is there someone else?" she snapped. I looked at her, really looked at her. This woman who once knew every inch of my heart, and I said, "No, there's just me." The separation was less dramatic than I expected. No screaming matches, no shattered plates, just a slow, quiet unraveling of something I thought was unbreakable. I found a small apartment downtown, signed the lease without telling her, and left one rainy Thursday morning. On the kitchen counter, I left a letter. Not a plea, not an accusation, just a statement. I was loyal to you when you turned me into a prop for your games. I stood by you when you mocked the man I am, but I can't keep proving my loyalty to someone who mistakes cruelty for love. So now I'm proving it to myself instead. The months that followed were the hardest of my life. Friends chose sides. Her family called me heartless. She posted cryptic captions about betrayal and men who can't handle a strong woman. But the quiet in my new place felt cleaner than any applause I'd ever earned. I started going to the gym again. I reconnected with friends I hadn't seen in years. I remembered what it was like to have thoughts that didn't orbit around someone else's approval. And Emily, she called at first with anger, then with confusion, then with something almost like regret. "I didn't think you'd actually leave," she said one night. "It was supposed to make us stronger." "No," I said softly. "It was supposed to make you feel powerful." Since then, a broken whisper. "Can we fix this?" I thought about the party, about the text, about the months I spent wondering what I had done wrong, when all along, it wasn't me who failed. "You tested my loyalty, Emily," I said finally, and I passed. Just not in the way you wanted. The divorce was finalized 6 months later. There was no dramatic courtroom scene, no begging at the 11th hour, just signatures, paperwork, and the quiet acceptance that love, real love, doesn't survive in the soil of humiliation. Sometimes I wonder if she ever understood what she really lost that night. Not a husband, not a provider, but a man who loved her enough to stay, until staying meant betraying himself. I don't hate her, not anymore. Betrayal is a strange teacher. It shows you not only who someone else really is, but who you've been pretending to be. And now I'm loyal, finally, fiercely, completely, just not to her.